Hey guys, in this previously recorded video, I'm actually gonna show you how to be profitable from the very beginning in a real estate deal. If you don't know your profits, and you could potentially be not profitable, the only way to stay in business for a long time is to be profitable on mostly all of your deals and to know what your profit actually is before starting the deal. In this episode, I'm gonna be talking about how to calculate profit in real estate. Hey guys, I'm gonna give you several different examples. I'm gonna give you an example of an actual real estate deal that I did, and I'm gonna break it down step by step for you so you know exactly what your profit's gonna be before you even purchase the property. Hey, in real estate, you wanna always be profitable, but it's not always possible. One of the ways me and my team stay profitable in real estate is we make sure that we include the profit in advance. We include the profit before we even make the offer, whether it be for a land or a house or a rental property. You know, the rental property and land is probably the easiest property to figure out what your profit's gonna be. I'm gonna show you an example of doing a flip property. The flip property is probably gonna have the most amount of calculations that you're gonna have to take into account. So I'm gonna show you the hardest one, but I'm gonna keep it very simple. I'm gonna show you kind of how to do a flip and then a land deal and a rental. So at the end of the day, you wanna make sure what's coming in, there's always less going out. And you know, if you have 100,000 coming in and you'll have 90,000 going out, that is a profitable land deal. That is a profitable flip. So I'm just gonna break it down on the flip chart here, but this is for a property that we're currently purchasing. We're gonna be able to sell this property for $350,000, and how I verified that was 1, through my realtor, 2, through Zillow.com. Realtor said 350 to 360,000. I'm gonna figure the lower end. So we're paying $350,000 for this house, and I know that I'm gonna pay 6% real estate commission to my realtor, which is going to be works out to $21,000 if you take 350,000 times 6%. I'm also going to put about $100,000 in renovation into this house to make it a beautiful, shining, nice house. And the reason why I'm going to put so much is because the house caught on fire. So that's my reno. And then I always want to put in an oops factor. Oops! Because things can happen. I once had an $8,000 water bill. So I'm gonna put 10% of $100,000, which is $10,000. And then I also have to remember what are my utilities gonna cost. That's like water, that's electric, that's heating, that's gas, that's sewer. Let's just figure I'm gonna have this house for about 6 months. So let's figure we're gonna spend about $1,000 in utilities in 6 months. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's probably a little light. So that's about $175 a month, $165 a month. That's what we average. So about $1,000 a month. And then insurance for 6 months, which is going to be about $1,000 as well. And then closing costs when I sell this property is going to be about $3,500, so about 1% of that, so $3,500. And then, most importantly, I want to make sure that my profit is added right here. Profit. A lot of people forget to do their profit. So if I'm going to flip a $350,000 house, I want to make at least 10% of that on profit. Let's just say $35,000. But I want to put another $10,000 on there as a buffer and also something to get me excited and get me out of bed in the morning. So let's just figure we want to make $45,000 in profit. So what are we going to pay for this house? That's what we got to figure out, but we got to figure out all the expenses as well. So one thing we're going to have to track is, what our points are. That's origination fees to borrow the money, and then our interest rate for the year if we pay interest-only payments each month. But right now, I'm going to figure out what we can pay, AKA our maximum allowable offer. I just want to make sure I didn't forget anything. Profit, closing, insurance, utilities, oops, renovation, paying the realtor. So I think we got it all. That's just a higher level. And a lot of these are very round numbers. It never works out this well, but we're going to make sure that we kind of do the worst case scenario. My contractor actually quoted me $80,000 on the renovation. I'm figuring for 110. So 8, 9, 10. So I want to do a lot more. So technically, if you look at 110,000 for reno, so I'm taking 100,000 plus the $10,000 oops, minus the 80,000 the contractor told me, I've got a $30,000 buffer. So if I'm planning to make 45,000 and only spend 100,000, so 30,000 goes back to my profit. So 30,000 plus 45,000, I could potentially make $75,000 on this property. So let's see the maximum amount I can pay for this, and that's how we're gonna figure out what we're gonna need for a mortgage. So 350,000 minus 21,000 for the realtor after he sells it. And my realtor does an amazing job. That's why I pay him 6%. Minus $100,000 for Reno, minus 10,000 for, oops, I'm gonna just do 110. Minus, let's call 1,000 for utilities, 1,000 for insurance, minus 2,000. Minus 3,500 for closing, minus 45,000 for profit that's going in my pocket. I could pay up to $168,500 for this property. So I'm gonna figure my purchase price of $168,000 and I'm gonna borrow all this money from my hard money lender. I'm gonna pay 2 points and I'm gonna pay 9% interest. So let's figure out what our points are gonna be on 168,500 times 2%. That's 3,370. Let's just call it 3,400 for easy math. And what did I say? 168,500 times 9% interest. That's $15,165 for the whole entire year. Now I know, looking at past flips, I generally have them about 4 months. That's a month to buy, a month and a half, 2 months to renovate, a month and a half to sell it. It works out to about 4 months. I'm gonna give it another 2 months just as buffer. I'm gonna figure 16 months. So I'm gonna take this $15,165, that's the 9% I'm gonna pay for this $168,000. And I'm gonna take that $15,165 and divide it by 12 months in a year. I'm gonna pay $1,263 a month for this money. I'm just gonna call it $1,300 a month. So I'm gonna take 1,300 times 6, that's $7,800 I'm actually gonna pay to borrow this money if I hold this house for 6 months. So I'm actually gonna take these two numbers, I'm gonna subtract it from the 168. So 168,500, and this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gives me a little bit more buffer for profit. So 168,500 minus 3,400 minus 7,800, that tells me I need to offer no higher than $157,300 for this parcel. Guys, before I go any further, smash that subscribe button and like this video. Let's keep going. So let's do this math again. 157. So there's the thing. I didn't have that in there. So if I take the 157 purchase price, this is how you really make sure. And a lot of people put this into like a spreadsheet or an Excel document. I like old school stuff, so I'm gonna take the 350,000 minus the 21,000 for the realtor fee, minus the 110,000 I was figuring to renovate, and the oops, minus, what did I say that purchase price was? 157,300. I'm just gonna call it 157,000 for easy math. Purchase minus my utilities. I'm gonna just put it all on here. Insurance, realtor fee, oh, no, that's up here. Realtor fee, insurance, closing cost. Make sure I didn't forget anything. Profit, insurance, the profit will be figured out. Oops, Reno, perfect. Minus your interest and points. So what was the points? 3,400 and 7,800. So 3,400 for points and 7,800 if we held the house for 6 months. 3,500 on closing costs, 1% of the 350. Insurance, 1,000. Utilities, 1,000. Now this, once I take 350,000 sales price, minus realtor, minus reno, minus purchase, minus utilities, minus insurance, minus closing costs, minus interest and points, that's gonna give me the actual profit that we'll make. So I'm gonna do the quick math again. 350,000 minus 21,000 for realtor, minus 110,000, that's oops, and reno, minus 157,000 purchase price that we're buying the property for, minus 1,000 for utilities, minus $1,000 for insurance, minus 3,500 closing, minus 7,800 for 6 months of interest only payments. This is me paying this payment every single month. It comes out to 7,800 minus 3,400 on the points. That's origination fee equals $45,300 profit. So this is a way to just basically turn the numbers around and double check our math. Now let's just say that the property only takes 80,000 like the original quote that I got from the contractor. You take the 45,000, add the extra 30 you're gonna have left over, you're gonna go from 110 to 80, that gives you an extra $30,000 profit. Extra $30,000. Now what's your profit? So 45, 55, 65, $75,000 profit. Ladies and gentlemen, is a profitable real estate deal. That's how you figure out your profit. If you need help with that, if you're looking to learn more about that, we run a program called the Land Sharks. We teach people how to buy and sell land at crazy massive discounts. If you would like for me to hold your hand during that process, head on over to thelandsharks.com, schedule a call with me and my team. We'll see what your real estate investing goals are, and I hope you've subscribed to this channel.